thinking, creativity, and innovation. And that culture is supported by leaders who are ultimately trying to grow the company. So trust is not only tied to business outcomes, but it also is something that leaders set the tone on, and the culture sets the tone on every day.
So true and so insightful. Thank you so much. Let's shift gears a little bit. You know, it's 2024, and I don't think that there has been a day that's gone by that we here at Zoom haven't talked about AI. Clearly, it's changed the game. And at Zoom, we leverage AI in all of our interactions and meetings. AI provides all attendees with meeting summaries and next step action items, and it gathers all the relevant chat content and recordings, placing them back into our team chat channel. We find that this provides a very easy way for all of us to stay on top of progress and our individual action items. It helps me keep track without me having to make that extra effort and stay on top of it myself. It truly also makes the meeting one moment in time across their full workflow. And AI also plays a big part in how we brainstorm and create our own assets at Zoom, for example, while using a whiteboard feature. So there are so many ways AI plays such a critical role, or can play such a critical role for those who haven't adopted it as much in work and lives. But we would be remiss if we did not talk about the full picture. And so along with the clear benefits, there has been a lot of debate out there about the potential risks and lack of trust in AI. How should we be thinking about that? And what impact do you think emerging technologies like AI mean for this trust gap?
So, Aparna, there really is a lot of debate about risk and lack of trust in AI, and the benefits as well. And I think it's important to just sort of set a little bit of context, because really understanding where and how what that gap looks like, I think is going to help leaders really better to put tactical plans in place. So first of all, 95% of executives feel that their investments in emerging technologies will help them earn the trust of their stakeholders, but really only 35% of employees believe that. So there's a gap there. And AI offers a lot of opportunities for employees to improve productivity, but it also raises concerns about job security and fairness. So there are 5 areas that we have outlined that businesses should focus on. The first is really communicate the benefits of AI. Think about it really as intelligent augmentation. I love this framing. Instead of artificial intelligence, flip the AI and talk about it as intelligent augmentation. How does the technology, the tools, the way of working, how does it help me be better at what I do? Not necessarily replacing what I do. The second is ensuring transparency in the AI systems and really clearly communicating what that means to your employees. Invest in reskilling is the third area. So we talked earlier about investing in employee education is really, in and of itself, a total reward. But when it comes to building trust, you have to really make sure that your employees understand what AI is, what generative AI is, what it can do, because otherwise rumors can run rampant. The fourth area is foster collaboration between, people and the AI systems that they're going to use. And a lot of that stems from reskilling and training people on what it is and what it isn't, and be thoughtful about the ethical considerations. I think the reason why we do those things, and if you do those together, a transparent AI model will help employees better understand how decisions were made. The reskilling programs are going to show the company's commitment to employees' development, collaboration, and showing what that collaboration can be, just like you shared in your examples of how you're using it to impact your everyday productivity. That will build trust with folks. And then by being really clear about what those ethical guidelines are about privacy and bias and fairness, people will have a better understanding that it's not just a black box, right? There's actually some meaning and value in it.
So thank you so much. I love this intelligent augmentation. If the fear for AI for me goes away when I think of I'm getting better. AI is making me get better at what I'm doing. So thank you so much, Tony, for spending time with us and talking through all of this. Really, really amazing stuff and super helpful. Now I am happy to hand it off to Maija to introduce our next segment.
Thank you, Aparna and Tony, for that enlightening session. I'm blown away by the insights into the human operating system and the challenges of the frozen middle. Here are my key takeaways. Employee disengagement hits hard, affecting productivity, profits, and turnover. However, investing in engagement pays off big time. Getting stuck in the frozen middle can really slow a company down, but building stronger manager and employee relationships, slashing red tape, and aligning everyone with company goals can help thaw it out. Lastly, businesses can build trust and ensure employees view AI as an opportunity rather than a threat by highlighting its benefits, being transparent about its use, educating employees, fostering collaboration between humans and AI, and keeping ethics top of mind. Next up, continuing on the topic of AI, we'll dive into how tech and AI can boost employee engagement in our customer panel. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more insights.
How do you explain the concept of a fax machine to someone born after 2000?
My advice is just don't. They will not get it. I tried with my son. It does not work.
I tried this last night with my 11-year-old son, and he looked at me blank-faced.
I would say it's like a printer that can send your documents over the phone lines to another printer, but with a lot more beeping and churning noises in between.
If you could develop an AI to perform any task, what would it be and why? I mean, this AI is already developed, but certainly to complete homework.
Well, 24 hours per day are not good enough for me. I have a lot of exciting things around me. I need my clone or distant twin to deal with a lot of exciting things.
What is the strangest place you've ever attended a remote meeting? Well, as a golfer, I will tell you the strangest place I ever attended a remote meeting, even one with my boss, is on the golf course. So, been on the golf course, in between swings, and it actually hit it pretty well while attending a meeting. So I've actually attended meetings while golfing.
I joined a meeting on the baggage scale in JFK Airport. An hour and a half call that I was actually just not only attending, but I was leading. So thank God for noise cancellation and virtual backgrounds.
All right, moving on to our next discussion. I'd love to welcome our next panel of speakers, Janine Marino, CIO advisor at Zoom, Yasu Harai, Chief of Staff to the Chair and CEO of Rakuten, and Earl Newsom, CIO at Cummins, to discuss the transformative power of technology in fostering collaboration and enhancing productivity. Over to you, Janine.
Thank you, Maja. Welcome, everyone. I'm Janine Moreno, a CIO advisor here at Zoom, and I am thrilled about the conversation that we are about to have on harnessing technology and AI for employee engagement. So let's start with some introductions. Yasu, would you like to go first?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Yasu Hirai at Rakuten Group. I joined Rakuten 10 years ago as the global CIO and CISO for the company. And I am now serving as the Chief of Staff to the Chair and CEO, our Miki Mikitani. Prior to joining Rakuten Group, I've been in the global ICT industries for over 30 years or so, starting my career at IBM, Microsoft, and Cisco Systems, One thing I realized when I crossed the river to the other side, from the vendor to the user, I realized selling something to the CIO is much easier than buying something as a CIO. That's me.
Thank you and welcome. Earl?
Thanks, Janine. Thank you for the opportunity to do the introductions. My name is Earl Newsom. I am the CIO for Cummins, the $34 billion industrial manufacturer for engines. We're the largest independent engine manufacturer in the world. I'm very proud of our company and what we've done. In fact, Jen Rumsey is our CEO, and she's the 7th CEO in the 104-year history of the company. So we have an amazing company. We have amazing leadership, and I've been with the company now 3 years. Prior to that, I had spent 10 years in the military. I'm a West Point graduate and very proud to have served. Then I spent 10 years in consulting, starting from being at the old Andersen Consulting, which is now Accenture, all the way up to being a partner in Deloitte & Touche. And my last 20 plus years has been in corporate America in various leadership roles. And so very happy to have the opportunity to share my thoughts and insights on this important topic. And thank you very much for the warm introduction as well.
Welcome. Thank you for that, Earl. Thank you both. I'm going to jump straight into it. At Cummins and Rakuten, what role does technology play in employee engagement? Earl, let's start with you this time. I know that Cummins is recognized as one of the top 100 best places to work by Glassdoor. How do you leverage technology to create that environment for your employees?
Sure. Thank you for the question, and thank you for the recognition that Glassdoor has given us. I am, at Cummins, what we think about is this idea of right environment. And I kind of talked to you a little bit about, when I was a soldier. And as a soldier, the best way to take care of soldiers, and this is one of my philosophies, is you make sure that soldiers have the right equipment to get the job done. They're prepared in the utilization of that equipment and trained on it. And then they have the opportunity to practice using that equipment in a safe zone. Because we know when our soldiers are tooled well, practice well, and trained well, they tend to come back home. And so what we want, and that's the ultimate success of any leader, is ensuring that your people are prepared for whatever mission that they have to take on, whether it's, a mission from a military standpoint, or a mission from a consulting standpoint, or a mission from a corporate standpoint, of coming and doing an excellent job and then getting the rewards of a successful execution of that mission and enjoying it. And so at Cummins, we call that the right environment. We actually have a focus on the right environment. And the right environment talks about many things, but we want to create an environment where our employees can thrive, that they have the right leaders, they have the right training, a huge focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. All of those things are about creating the right environment, but also ensuring that we take care of our employees by making sure they have the right tools to get the job done, make sure they're effectively trained on those tools, and they get a place to practice the utilization of those tools so they can be the very best they can be. In fact, in the Army, this concept of be all that you can be, I think the right environment helps our employees be all that they can be. And so some of those tools that we give them in order to ensure that they're the most effective tools that we can provide through our sets of services, we have a tool called Answers, which is a technology that we use to allow people to make inquiries about what's going on in the company, and then they get information back. We have what we call Cummins Connect, which is our intranet page where you can go in and find lots of things going on, and it's very popular. Our intranet page is hugely popular. We leverage, typical productivity technologies. We leverage collaboration technologies. We leverage, many different technologies. This latest thing about allowing AI summaries to be part of what's going on, and really taking the note taking out of somebody's hands and giving them time to really be focused on the meeting and let the AI take the notes. And so that really helps our employees create this right environment. And so whether we're automating workflows, removing manual steps from complicated activities, we're removing the need to take notes so you can focus intently on the person that you're working with to solve a particular problem. We're trying to ensure that each and every one of our employees have the right tools to get that job done, make sure they're trained on the utilization of those tools, and then we give them places to explore and experience those tools to learn the very best out of them. So that's the way we think about it at Cummins, and that's the way we create that right environment.
Sounds like a great place to work. No wonder you're at the top 100. Thank you for that. Yasu, turning it over to you. How are you leveraging technology to create that environment for your employees?
Sure. By the way, big congratulations on the great place to work. I want to learn a lot from you and your company. So employee engagement is one of the key elements to demonstrate the social value propositions of any institutions. And that requires, first of all, very distinct corporate culture. It's all about employee value propositions. Rakuten stands for optimism in Japanese. We have a variety of businesses from the e-commerce through digital content distribution, full lines of fintech services, and recently we commenced the mobile carrier business, Rakuten Mobile in Japan. We have a very distinct corporate culture called Rakuten Shugi, with 5 principles for success. All the employees all over the world on this planet knows what Rakuten Shugi means. Also, they do believe in the value of our corporate culture. But more importantly, when we think about the importance of employee engagement, they all have to live with our corporate culture called Rakuten Shugi. So corporate culture is not something employees need to adhere to like a policies. Actually, Rakuten Shugi corporate culture is something protecting the employees who are doing the right things for the customers and for the companies. On top of that, we do need the recognition platform way more than reward platform. That is why we decided to deploy Workvivo of Zoom at Rakuten Symphony Deutschland here in Düsseldorf, Germany. It was so fortunate for me to know Workvivo at Zoomtopia last year, and Eric Yuan kindly supported us to deploy Workvivo at Rakuten Symphony Deutschland with 250 employees. Surprisingly, out of 250, almost 90% of employees are coming from India. They are living here in Düsseldorf locally as the first time. So we need the common employee engagement platform to bond everybody, to unify everybody as one team. And good news of Workvivo is we have the tight linkage with our HR system, Workday, also Okta for multi-factor authentication. In 1 month from the launch, over 80% of all the employees activated and posting a lot of news and shout out to recognize their peers and employees. So I believe employee engagement can be built on both strong culture platform and tools like Workvivo.
Thank you for that. So as you mentioned, it's all about collaboration and community. So moving on, at Rakuten and Cummins, how do you effectively leverage product innovation and AI to foster greater collaboration and connectivity among employees? So let's think of this in 2 parts. How does this make them feel more connected to their team, work, and purpose? And also, what does success look like?
That's a very good question. I believe innovation is created through serendipity, not planned meetings. And I do believe Zoom Workplace is helping us on a global basis to create this serendipity atmosphere across the employees. Of course, again, on top of that, employee engagement platform is quite crucial to bond everybody. And also, we are so keen to drive our AIization initiative AIize everything at Rakuten Group. By the way, AI stands for artificial intelligence in the past, but that is not true. To me, AI should be augmented intelligence or augmented insights. So, I mean, AI does not replace human beings. AI is just augmenting the human beings to enhance their creativity. So we are very much committed to drive our product innovation for our customers, leveraging the power of AI.
Thank you for that. Turning it over to you, Earl. How do you effectively leverage product innovation and AI to foster greater collaboration and connectivity among your employees?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great question, and I also, I want to thank Yasu for his comments and actually kind of defining what Rakuten actually means. And I love this concept of optimism, because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I've got to be optimistic all the time. Eventually we will win a playoff game. I'll tell you that. So Rakuten for me, for sure, as we think about this. And so, pivoting to your question about how do I think about product innovation and how does product innovation, kind of in teams build innovative things. And so when I think about innovation, I think about it this way. I think, innovation occurs really at the intersection between invention and business idea. So, we've got folks thinking about business ideas and creating those business ideas. We have inventions that are being created out there. And this intersection between invention and business ideas where innovation happens. And innovation can happen anywhere in your organization. And so whether it happens at the edge, we've got a bunch of innovations happening at our plants and teams working at the plant to make changes, and those team-based organizations at the plant. Some of it happens at the core, some of it happens in engineering, some of it happens with that wild thought that you got from the shower this morning. So, that's the kind of thing that we want to do. We want to create technology and tools and AI to help you capture that innovation in the most easy way possible. And so we have, sort of innovation sites where people come in and they drop their ideas. And we've actually got a person on my team who's got the responsibility of foresight and innovation. Because one of the things that we've learned is that foresight is really important towards trying to create inventions in that innovative spirit. And that is this idea of foresight says, you gain insight from the small signal detection. It starts with small signal detection. So what are those small shifts that are occurring, kind of in your marketplace or in your job or whatever? And then you take that small shift and you gather insight from it. And then from that insight, you create foresight. And foresight is the way that I think about creating innovation, because sometimes there's a saying that says the best way to predict the future is to create it, right? And so some of the things that we're doing at Cummins is we're trying to create that future. And so we're very focused on sustainability, destination zero, et cetera. And so as you talk about product innovation, what's happening in our company is this idea that we are going to disrupt ourselves. We are going to help lead the charge toward destination zero. And we think destination zero and decarbonization is actually a business opportunity for Cummins. So Cummins is winning as a diesel company, and we're also winning as a net zero company. And so we have products out there, electrolyzers, batteries, fuel cells, all leading the charge with kind of product innovation. So on a product innovation standpoint, that's the way you got to do it. We're gonna create that future that's destination zero for not only for us, but for our children. We want to create a planet that's sustainable. And then we also want to leverage wherever we can this new technology. AI is going to help us to accelerate our ability to implement our strategies around destination zero. So that's the way that I think about it. And I love what Yasu said. And, a lot of this is serendipity. So the way I define that serendipity is that intersection between invention and business idea. Because when we find those things, that's where magic happens.
I strongly agree. I couldn't think of a better way to say what success looks like, because that just sums it up. All right, shifting gears a bit now, in what ways can artificial intelligence be harnessed to automate those mundane tasks and administrative burdens, thereby giving your employees the ability to focus on more impactful and fulfilling projects? Yasu, let's start with you this time.
That's a very, very important question. I believe AI can automate the business processes. AI can build the robust IT infrastructure. And more importantly, AI can secure the IT systems against any cyber attacks or privacy linkage concerns. So I believe goals for us associated with the power of AI is to increase customer intimacy and customers' business relevance, also gain the productivity of our employees, and more importantly, be competitive in the market. So at Rakuten Group, we all try to leverage the power of AI in any aspect of our businesses worldwide. The three key points is optimize the TCO, total cost of ownership, maximize return on investment ROI, and accelerate time to market. Those are the key major goals for us to use AI for any kinds of businesses across the globe.
What about at Cummins, Earl?
Sure, and I want to pivot back to, and I love the way that you talked a bit about success and that the ultimate definition of success, and I'll go back to really three things. One, you know, as I mentioned, Rakuten and optimism and being a Cowboy fan. So ultimate success would be Cowboys winning the Super Bowl, of course, right? But then we're global, right? So we'll think globally. So, you know, let's think about who will win the World Cup. And I'm a big fan of Brazil. So, you know, so Brazil will win the World Cup. And then, you know, and we talked about success in business. And I think this notion of success is, you know, advanced technology should be indistinguishable from magic, right? And so, you know, ultimate success for a technology project is to actually create that magic that's, you know, if you're using advanced technology, I want our users to think it's indistinguishable from magic, and we're giving that magical experience. And that's what success should be defined as. And so when we think about success and from an AI standpoint, I tell this story. So, you know, as I think about AI, I think back to the movie The Terminator, right? And you think about Terminator 3 was Rise of the Machines. And in Rise of the Machines, I think this is the right one, is that at the end, the character, you know, playing John Connor, you know, goes down and he's going to try to stop Judgment Day. So he goes down into this bunker, into the desert somewhere, probably Arizona, heads into this bunker, walks into it and says, I'm going to stop Judgment Day, right? He walks in this bunker though, but there's all these old computers. Now we're dating ourselves. You know, I think you dated yourself, Janine, with the luggable. And so I'm gonna do it now with paper tape and punch cards, right? And so there's these old computers in there, and he walks in there. He goes, "This obviously isn't Skynet, right?" And so, but he also makes this great realization is that, you know, maybe I'm not meant to stop Judgment Day. I'm meant to survive it, right? And so that's the way we think about AI. And I love what Yasu said, that AI is really augmentation, is that we're not going to stop AI, right? We don't even need to merely survive it. We need to thrive with it. So how do we go from fear of stopping it to, you know, worried about survival to now capitalizing on AI to thrive with it? And so I have a nice concept here. How do we thrive with AI, right? And I want humans to thrive with AI. And so a couple of things that we're going to do, you know, from a common standpoint, we know that there's the ills of AI. It can hallucinate, it can be wrong, it can be biased, it can use copyrighted information, those kinds of things. But we think the ultimate cure for that is the human in the loop, right? And so our strategy is all built around the human in the loop, and that you cannot substitute the AI's judgment for your own. So if you use an AI and to create whatever it is you're going to create, and you send that out into the world, it's yours. That's not the AI's, that's yours, right? And so the human in the loop is an absolute necessity to ensure that we have productive and responsible AI. And so, as I mentioned in the beginning, that goes to us. The human in the loop means bots plus AI. I think Yasu said augmented, right? It's like intelligent assistance. It's like assistive intelligence. All of those things, augmented, you know, intelligence, all of those things are what AI is about. And so a bot plus humans makes us exponential, right? And through that, we think that there's really a couple of great use cases. Number one is we call it AI-led design. So as we think about moving from analyst-led design to AI-led design, makes us create better products, whether we're designing networks or plants or lines. All of those things can be done with AI. We know about hardware and engineer productivity, another great use case for AI. Intelligent summarization, like we see with note-taking, another great use case for AI. The last great use case, I think, this idea about changing a customer experience by giving them a customized, generated experience that meets their needs. So you meet your customers where they are versus where you want them to be. And so those are some of the great, amazing things that we can do with AI. And those are the things that we're doing at Cummins. And we're trying to make sure that we're looking at in all the corners, like we talked about innovation. There's great ideas out there about how to leverage AI to improve the way that our improve our customer experience, improve employee engagement, and improve the way that our leaders function. And so we're looking for improvements all across the board. So that's the way that we think about AI. We're going to thrive with AI. And I look forward to the day when we all thrive with it.
Thank you for that. It sounds like a great slogan for a t-shirt. Let's thrive with AI. And we can't lose sight of the empathy, right? Because like you say, it's AI plus humans together, will just enhance that experience. So now we've talked about a lot of the positives. Let's switch gears a bit and think about what are the primary challenges faced by businesses in implementing technology-driven solutions to enhance that employee engagement and satisfaction. So Yasu, let's start with you.
Yes, our challenge is talent acquisition. So there are two types of talents. One is human resources. The other one is human capital. As long as we call them as human resources, it's the cost side on our P&L. But I would expect the talents like human capitals, which can be the intangible assets on a balance sheet. Those talents should be embracing the corporate culture, Rakuten Shugi, as the employee value proposition platforms. But we are always facing the challenges around talent acquisition.
So if you had to describe the challenge for talent acquisition, are you looking for a different type of an employee with a different type of skills?
Of course, we respect diversity and inclusion, any nationalities, any educational backgrounds, but someone who has a very strong expertise and commitment to get things done.
Thank you for that. Earl.
Yeah, I would align with Yasu on that when we think about the challenges of really adopting any technology, I think there's a couple of them. Number one is this notion that I mentioned, this fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? FUD, right? And there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt around, is AI coming for my job? And we do know that there's going to be challenges associated with retooling people for the next economy. But if you look historically, between the agricultural economy to the industrial economy to the information economy to the digital economy, now the experience economy, each previous economy, the labor associated with that previous economy, has had to shift to the new economy. So there's a huge retraining, opportunity for us. And so that's the challenge. That's how do we retrain people for this new economy to be really effective? I mean, because if you went back to the steam engine, there used to be everything, manufacturing was all done by steam, but then the electric motor came and disrupted the steam industry. But those steam engineers became electrical engineers, and we actually multiplied manufacturing jobs and capabilities by doing that. We needed to do the same in this new economy. In the AI-driven or AI-inspired economy, what are those new roles? How do we retool our workforce so that we can, in fact, deliver on the vision bots plus human can help make us exponential? And part of that retooling means that we have to think about new roles. And I think the new roles are going to be coming out there, like we have an AI engineer. That's a new role, right? An AI artist. I love this concept of AI artistry because what it means is that there's lots of different models. There's over 880 kind of different models out there. But who can weave those models together, right, and create something amazing, right? And I call that the AI artist. That's the domain of the human being. And so let's focus on these jobs that are really going to be part of the domain of the human being. Like for instance, there's a great book called Genius Makers that talks about this, and Move 37 is in the book, and it talks about the predictable move that the machine made that beat the world champion Go player. But also the world champion Go player in game 4, I believe, Move 78 was the move that the human created that actually beat the machine. Right? And so Move 37 is the domain of the machine. Move 78 is the domain of us humans. And so let's focus on giving us the tools and the capabilities, right, to address the challenge about what does the future look like with exponential humans, and we're leveraging AI to make the world better. And so let's face that challenge together. And I think, it's an amazing challenge. I think you're right. The talent one is the one that, what do we do with the talent? How do we reskill and retool the talent that we have to prepare it for tomorrow's future? And that's what we have to solve.
I like your AI artist concept. We have the similar one called data artist. Since AI is an algorithm, unless otherwise AI has the huge, meaningful data, it does not mean anything. So we call them data artist.
I love it because I think this future, again, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So let's create those roles, and then let's get the right training and tools for those roles, for data artists, for AI artists, for digital anthropologists. Let's create those roles, and let's move from STEM to STEAM, right? Because I think if when we inject art into science, technology, engineering, and math, we can create and design amazing experiences for human beings to thrive in. And so that's the way we're going to thrive with AI, is by creating these roles that Yasu has in his team, and we're thinking about it. But if we intentionally do it, we can then prepare the entire population for the next economy.
Excellent.
Great times ahead, that's for sure. So now, with everything else, it comes down to being able to measure success. So how are you tracking ROI of your technology investments? Yasu, let's start with you.
Yes, that's a very important topic. And internally, we are using TBM, Technology Business Management, which is visualizing our IT investment to the business values. So TBM is a common framework across the world, and major IT companies are using that. And we are just following the TBM framework.
Thank you, Yasu. So in closing, what advice would each of you give to the audience on how to enhance the employee experience with technology? Just a one-liner.
Yeah, so for me, I think, you asked for one line, so I think
All
it
right,
is,
maybe two.
maybe two. Right? Oh, well, there's a construct here, and I'll give you the one line, but I'll give you the construct first. And so there's a construct called the 6-word story, and it was made famous by Ernest Hemingway, and where he was challenged to write a story in 6 words. And his story was for sale, baby shoes never worn. And so what that tells you, that in 6 words, you can say something really impactful. You can invite the audience to go in and ask a little deeper. You can create a feeling within 6 words. So you don't have to be really wordy to be impactful. So my 6 words around technology, for technology leaders and those of you who are listening to this call on a worldwide basis, I say these are my 6 words for technology: embed yourself, use it, drive it.
That sums it up. Thank you so much, Earl. Yasu, what advice would you give?
Yes, we have to continue to enhance the IT literacy of all the employees. Besides the very strong vision and the purpose of the company provided by the top executives, including CEO, we need a kind of platform to connect everybody, bond everybody, collaborate with each other as one team. And I believe technologies can complement each other against the company's strong vision and purpose. And I am sure Zoom will continue to support us to enable all our employees to that direction.
Thank you, Yasu. Thank you,
And can I
Earl.
jump in? Yeah,
Oh,
I
go
want to
ahead.
jump in on that because I think, I mean, it's a great thing to think about this concept of, our responsibility on this planet. And so I'd like to leave you with this. And I think, and Yasu talked about this notion of diversity, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about how AI and technology can help us drive diversity. And I often use this thing to think about diversity. Diversity is this. I talk about diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Diversity is actually being, invited to the dance. Equity is having access to the dance floor. Inclusion is being asked to dance, but belonging is wanting to dance as if no one's looking at you, right? And I think if we can use AI and technology to create a world where everyone is dancing as if no one's looking at them, imagine the beauty that we can create. And so that's what I think we can do. AI gives access to the previous that didn't have accessible. And you can do that within different, AI can help bring communities together. AI can help, bridge the digital divide. AI can help bridge the opportunity gap. All of those things we can do with AI. And so let's use AI for good. And if we do that, we can create a world where everyone feels that they're dancing and nobody's looking at them.
Well said. Well said. And thank you both for the valuable insights you've shared here today. I hope you all enjoyed the panel discussion and feel more equipped to leverage the power of technology and artificial intelligence to shape a remarkable employee journey. Looking forward to seeing what the future holds. At the close of this event, the Zoom team will be following up with resources and a summary of what we've discussed here today. Thank you all and enjoy your day.
Thank you to Janine, Yasu, and Earl for such an important discussion. Some of my key takeaways from that session. The concept of the right environment struck a chord with me. By equipping employees with the tools they need, providing training and practice opportunities, and preparing them for any task, we can create this optimal environment for employees. Mixing a strong culture with platforms like WorkVivo fosters communication and connection, boosting employee engagement, especially in dispersed teams. I really liked Yasu's view on AI not standing for artificial intelligence, but augmented intelligence, meaning that it's augmenting humans to enhance their creativity, not replace them. Finally, Earl's closing remarks deeply resonated with me. He emphasized using AI to foster inclusivity and equity in the workplace to close the digital divide and opportunity gap. Remember, diversity is being invited to the dance. Equity is having access to the dance floor. Inclusion is being asked to dance, but belonging is wanting to dance as if no one is looking at you. I don't know about you, but I love to dance. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you could swap jobs with anyone in the office for a day, who would it be and why? Wow, what a great icebreaker.
This is really hard because all of the jobs that my team do are amazing. What job would I do? What job would I switch to?
I think for me, it would be with the executive admin for the CEO. You see everything, you're connected with everything. I would even say you're even more important than the corner office itself. So yeah, I would be the EA for the CEO.
I think I would go back a step in my career to when I was one of the team who were working much more closely with the clients, diagnosing all of the things that were going on inside the organization. We sort of pitch ourselves as like the radiographers of workplace. So I want to get in and I want to see where those broken bones are and the organs that are about to fail. It's quite fun being a bit of a sort of crime scene investigator, telling an organization that it's about to fall over. So I think I would just go back a few years in my career and do that. I love it.
What's the funniest thing that happened to you during a remote meeting? I have a 5-year-old grandson. He just started studying English in Japan. So whenever I was on a Zoom meeting with the global members in English, he wanted to show up on my knee, love to the Zoom meeting. So having my grandson at a very serious meeting made this meeting atmosphere very, very good.
I mean, it's truly not funny, and I had stress dreams about it, but I definitely like accidentally forgot that I was sharing the screen, and certainly started doing other work for another call.
What is one piece of technology that has dramatically changed from when I started my career to now? Well, let me tell you, for sure, the invention and introduction of the usable mobile phone with the flat screen.
First thing that came to my mind was AOL and dial-up and the crinkly noise when you hope that you made the connection and then you prayed that nobody actually made a phone call in and disconnected you from your internet connection.
It would definitely be a portable PC, because actually the PC was not portable. It was more what we call luggable. It was a compact that weighed at least 25 pounds.
I went from using my BlackBerry device as a junior lawyer and junior banker to now closing deals or having M&A in my car with 2 kids in the back seat screaming. So you know what? You can do it all, people. You can do it all.
All right, we are in the final stretch now. I'm thrilled to welcome a senior leader here at Zoom, Christy Burke, for an engaging discussion with industry experts Maya Irvin and Tim Oldman, where they will unravel the tensions and highlight the opportunities a multi-generational workforce presents.